Welcome to Retirement Ramblings. I'm Scott, and today is day 308 in my countdown to retirement. So, today, rather than my normal kind of update with regard to what I did during the day and how it impacted my retirement, I thought I would just talk about market volatility and how that is impacting my thinking about retirement. And as most of you know, um, retiring into a down market is never a good idea. Um, and so one of the things that made me I had been thinking about retiring at the end of 2024, and one of the key reasons that I didn't retire was because of the volatility that I expected under a Trump presidency after Trump um, won the presidency, won the election. And so I decided to um, delay my retirement till the end of 2025, especially knowing that he was going to, put somebody like RFK Jr. in charge of healthcare and how that may or may not impact Medicare, Medicaid, you know, uh, the Affordable Care Act, etc. So I wanted to understand what the implications were for healthcare, and also, Trump's policies, while they were um, pretty positive in the first Trump presidency, at least for me. So when someone would ask you at the end of 4 years, are you better off today than you were 4 years ago? At the end of Trump term one, my answer was a definitive yes. Um, then, if they were asking me for Trump too, that's TBD, obviously. But, um, you know, since the election, right, the market has run up and the market has come back down, and depending on where you were in the market, would determine kind of where you are. And for me, it's not been a good ride. I'll just say that. So, you know, the thing that I was most concerned with is sequence of return risk. And there isn't really a way to counterbalance it other than to have yourself, a number of years of your expenses sitting in in a cash or, cash equivalent um, investment to be able to live off of, while you're waiting for the market to recover, and that assumes that you don't have some annuity somewhere paying you, you don't have a pension, you don't have some other, you don't have rental income or something that's replacing your salary that you were made as an employee, um, and you're just living off of your investments. And in my case, I don't have any of those things. So for me, it's all been about I've saved money, I've put it into investments, I've watched those investments grow. When I retire, my expectation is not to take Social Security until I'm 70. So I need to be able to fund, my lifestyle from when I retire until I hit 70, and then I'll get Social Security, and then at that point, it'll reduce any of the income that I need to take out of savings, and I'll be able to, do that. My wife's already collecting Social Security, so the combined Social Security amount between the two of us, once I start collecting at 70, uh, you know, theoretically, will cover all of our bills, or, you know, 90 plus percent of the bills. Um, I'm one of the reasons I'm delaying till I'm 70 is to make sure that the spousal benefit, in the case that I were to die before she does, but post turning age 70, that she would be able to get the most Social Security benefits available, after my passing, which, based on what she gets, my benefits would probably be double what she currently gets, and she'd at least have that in addition to our investments to live off of for the rest of her life. So I've taken that into consideration. I've modeled out all the taxes and all that other stuff that everyone else talks about. But fundamentally, the ups and downs of the market, so the volatility, you know, if it was be any year, quite honestly, other than the year that I'm thinking about actually stopping working and retiring. If it was a normal year and the market was going through gyrations, my temperament with regard to investments is when the market's going down, I tend to buy more. So, it isn't, it was never an issue for me because I had a job, I have a job. And so if the market was going down, I wasn't relying on that income, so I could, quote unquote, buy the market on sale when it goes down. And then, over the long run, you know, and this is true, obviously, like the market goes up unless you're in just really piss poor things. Like, you know, the trend is always up. It just depends on how long is it going to take it to be up. So, but once you're retired, that's a different story, obviously. And like, you can't afford for it to be down for 10 years or, even 5 years necessarily. So, that volatility is what makes people obviously get more conservative in their investing strategy. And so for me, where I used to be, 100% in the market, I started moving money last year where I go and I'm 70 30. Yeah, I have 30% in fixed income or cash equivalent in my IRAs, and I've got 20%. So I moved to an 80/20 model in my Roth, although I'm still hedging there. Maybe I'll go back to 90/10 or something because my goal is really not to have to touch the Roth, or if I do, it'll be in the way out years, and so I want it to be able to grow as much as possible. But um, I also stopped contributing this year to, well, I will be stopping because my company's policy is stupid. And even though I put in to cancel my contributions to 401k literally on January 1st, it doesn't take effect uh, until April 1st from my company. Like my investment changes happen immediately, but the contribution amount for some reason only happens on the first day of each calendar quarter. So once I get to April 1st, they'll no longer be taking any money out of my pay for 401k contributions, and all of the money will go directly into a brokerage account that I had been putting into a 401k. So roughly, I want to say 13, I think it's 13% of my salary will go directly into a brokerage account, um, after taxes, uh, to help build up a cash cushion so that after I stop working, I will have money in a traditional brokerage account as well as money in 401k as well as in a Roth account and a traditional IRA that I'll be able to draw from. And then I can look at doing Roth conversions or not, based on the situation. And again, by the end of the year, we'll know whether the Trump 2017 tax cuts will get extended, if he's going to do anything else that will adjust taxes, in which case then I can make whatever necessary adjustments I need to prior to the actual day of my retirement, assuming I don't get laid off first. And that, is a very real possibility. Like a lot of other people, that you are hearing about now, people are losing their jobs, not just in the federal government, but in a lot of tech companies. And given that I work in the media business and there's lots of consolidation going on and lots of cost cutting, it's very real that that I could be out of a job, you know, in advance of when I had planned to leave the workforce. but we'll wait and see. And you know, I'm not I'm not going to go look for another job that will only be for 6 months or whatever, like or 9 months. That would just be stupid. So, um, in any event, the main point I was just trying to get at is, my thinking and my actions. So while I watch the market go down, I haven't gone and done my traditional jump in, buy more as it's declining, because I don't want to use up the cash that, I may need to live off of if the market actually doesn't, you know, recover before the end of the year. And also, if we end up going into, either a stagflation environment or, a recession or what have you, or even if we stay positive, but the market grows at a rate that's lower than the inflation rate, then, and it lasts for more than a couple of years, that again would be problematic with regard to, you know, to the retirement portfolio growth. Like the first 5 years after you retire is really, really important with regard to what the market does, or what your investments do, I should say. Like they need to be growing in that first 5 year period versus declining. It's really hard to recover from a declining market in the early parts of your retirement. So anyway, that's just been on my mind today. I sat down and watched a bunch of financial shows. I was watching Trump speak on a few things, um, or Carolyn Levitt, the press secretary, speak on different things. And kind of the more I watched what was happening today, the more uh, depressed, the more depressed I was getting. And so again, it's just something that I wanted to both document for myself and to share with you. And I'm curious, how you think about um, you know the your investment portfolio in the years immediately before retiring, or if you are retired, you know immediately after up to the 5 year mark. Like, do you concur that having a down market year after you've retired had a material impact on your lifestyle, or your lifestyle choices? Um, Let me know in the comment section. Anyway, that's my update for today. If you have any questions, comments, please leave them in the comment section down below, or drop me an email at myretirementramblings@gmail.com. Otherwise, have a great evening. Take care. I'll talk to you tomorrow.